Hey folks, Gibbs here with the latest entry in Koei Tecmo's long-running fighting game franchise, Dead or Alive 6. In this video, I'll run down the things I feel are important to discuss, and we'll go from there. It won't be like a traditional review, it will discuss graphics and sound a little, but I want to focus on the core game and if it's worth picking up for veterans and new players alike. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing to discuss in this game are the modes. Okay, so it's a Dead or Alive game. There's going to be modes out the wazoo, and there are. So you've got story, of course you're about to play through the story and see what your characters do and interact with and stuff. It's really cool. It's the usual kind of stuff. DOA's stories are usually insane. Enjoy it. It's interesting. DOA Quest though is a really interesting mode that they've added to this game. Okay, so let's explain it real quick. DOA Quest allows you to undertake challenges, usually with 3 stars as you can see, and you can do the challenges, and if you manage to get all 3 done, you will be given costume parts for, well, the randomized system that's going on at the minute in the game to unlock the outfits. That's being patched on Monday to offer more points in other modes, but most of them seem to come from here right now. As you can see, that costume part is 300, so you get 300 parts for doing that particular mission. There's 104 at the moment, and that's a cool thing to like ease you into the game. It's not going to be super helpful for people who've been playing the game for a long time. It's going to be more useful for people who are new or intermediate, but it's really cool. It teaches you how to do holds and stuff. There is one thing about this mode that annoys me. Actually it's a bit more than that. I'm going to bring it up in a different bit actually, but it's really worth talking about how it asks you to do certain things and it doesn't really explain them, especially for characters you don't play. So we're going to get back to that, but like for reals, that'll come up. Okay, so fight. Obviously everyone wants to fight. So versus 1v1 offline. You can imagine what that's like. Just beat up your mates, go to a tournament, you guess what you're going to play in. It's all good. Arcade mode. It's a 6-stage arcade mode, so you can go through and beat up the AI on multiple difficulties and see how far you get. Always good stuff. Time attack. Obviously you can see how long it takes for you to get through a certain amount of challenges, and you know you'll be timed on it, so it's all good there, right? Survival. How many can you survive against before you die is basically that mode. All are really cool. Versus, of course, is really good for facing your mates and stuff offline. Arcade is good for testing hit confirms and learning some of the jank of the game. Not that the game is actually jank, but what I mean is like the interaction between the way that certain hits would connect with each other. It's quite an interesting thing to do. Time attack, obviously, that's just for fun. Do it for fun. It's good stuff. You can see how long it takes you to kill a certain amount of characters or whatever. Survival, of course, see how long you can live. Once again, just for fun. I like that one personally. Okay, so now we're into the real thing. Training mode is where I begin. So you got free training. Tutorial. The tutorial is really cool in this game. Check it out. It's gonna teach you the bare bones basics, but that's all you need, and everything else comes after that part. So like you've got command training, and command training is pretty cool. You pick a character. Let me just like quickly load one in here. The one thing I have noticed is that the load times aren't amazing. That's one thing to mention. But you know what? Once you're in, it's all good. So here you go. You got command training, and you can just do what it says at the top. It's 115, and it just wants you to, you know, just do stuff like that. So yeah, check that out. It's a good way of just testing your inputs. And trust me, inputs in this game are important. Especially when you have to do like delayed whatever, linked whatever stuff. Proper links. Get your stuff in. Oh, whoops. And of course combo challenge, that will teach you combos for each character. If you manage to clear them all, you get the system voice for that character, so well worth doing for your main at least. Obviously you can do it to learn other characters too. Yeah, but free training is where it all begins. Free training is what we care about the most, right? If you're gonna get competitive in a game, you're gonna go into free training and you're gonna test stuff all day, every day. No different from any other game that you would do any sort of labbing or whatever in. Obviously this game being 3D, if you play 2D games it might be a bit different. But this game will show you the frame, the damage, the critical damage, the current status, what type of damage you did, how much you were advantage. Like if you were minus or plus. That's amazing. They'll show you your combo damage. If you've got break gauge, it's just gonna show you a lot of stuff, but it doesn't actually end there. So if you go into like the menus, you can set up what you want your your computer to do and stuff, which is really cool. Well worth doing to set up for different stuff. Oh, you can show the hit effects and obviously turn off stuff if you want to. You can also change the fight screen info, where you can show what it is, or show, just the actual free training thing. If you want to see it at the bottom, you can remove it like this, like that, so it doesn't show. But use it to win. Everyone comes in here eventually, and well worth getting some practice in. And it's really just your basic training mode really for DOA. But that's all good, right? Because like look at the bottom, like that tells me that's 10 frames. Sorry, 10 frames, 2 active, and is that like? There's no advantage on that. Okay. It is interesting to see like the actual frame data in the game. Like apparently that's advantage. It's a +7 move, or +8 from that range. So like you can come in and test that stuff. You guys all be able to sit back and do a better job than me with explaining how all that works, especially as you get into the game. So with that out of the way, online mode only has ranked right now. Lobbies are coming eventually. We don't exactly know when, but hopefully very soon, because I want to see lobbies. DOA Central is a place to like view the database. The database tells you all about characters in the game and stuff. The theater shows the cutscenes. Music lets you adjust the background music settings. Library is literally just various information on the game and the past of the game. Wardrobe is probably what people will be looking at, and you can pick a character and go in and change their wardrobe up. You can buy costumes here. You need a certain amount of pattern points, as we mentioned earlier, and stuff like that. I've currently got that one activated in here, because that's the only one I've managed to buy at this point. I mean, I can buy more, but I've not spent the money on them. Okay, so I have one gripe with training, and I wanted to bring it up last because it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and it actually affects people who want to do, people who are like new, and they want to do DOA quest mode, and it's a big deal, right? I'm gonna just show it real quick. It affects everything that if you want to learn. If you want to learn, it affects everything. And I would like them to address it. So when you go into training mode or whatever mode you might be in and you view your command list, you're going to get really cool looking command list. And on the right, sometimes it's going to give you a stat or whatever the move is. There we go. Links to the same combo as PP, right? But which of these are high counters and stuff? The game needs to have this literally written somewhere for people to be able to go in and learn what does what. That's where this game's failing right now. I mean, I can do it, I'm fine, but it's not good for new people, and having to go online to find out, or having to like literally mash buttons to find the right thing for yourself is a bit bad. So that's just the thing I wanted to bring up real quick. But what I will say is, it's a solid set of modes. It's got everything you want, other than lobbies right now. But lobbies are coming, but everything else is solid. So I don't have too many complaints, other than that last one I just did. But here's hoping that one day that is solved. Everything else is great though. So let's move along. Okay folks, I've jumped into training mode here. Once again, because now we're going to talk about the game mechanics. Now I'm going to talk about it from the point of view of a fighting gamer. So let's do that. First off, this game is a 3D fighter. You can move in this space, and I'm just going to move around this character a bit. So as you can see, I'm at the back of the character now, their head is following you. As you can see. So, the way this game works is obviously fighting games use a rock, paper, scissors style. So, for this game, it works like this. Strikes beat throws. Okay? Strikes beat throws. Throws beat holds. Throws will kill holds off straight away. So you don't have to deal with holds if you can throw it. And holds will take down strikes. So there you go. So try to remember that while playing, because it will help you out immensely. So there's the first thing that we had to mention, because it's such a big deal. As I mentioned there though, this game has holds. What I mean by holds is, they're basically parries. You can do stuff where, you know, I just tried to go for a mid-punch, grab, for hold, no tracking. And what that means is I went to grab the mid-punch. Or if I do that, it's a mid-kick. That's forward and H. If I do that, it's an up punch or a mid-punch, depending on what's going on. If you do that one, it's a low grab. So it's a low grab for a hold. So you're checking for that. And if you do that, it's a high grab. Each direction has a different way of doing this, and you'll need to practice them to get used to doing it. But holds are important. Of course, there are throws. They will be beaten by people hitting buttons. So if you go to throw, the strike that the person does has priority over your throw, unlike in other games. So to be careful of that. Let me see if I can get the AI to do something fun. So I want strikes, and say I want mid punches, right? And it should just start doing mid punches. And you know, I'm just gonna get punched here. But you can do that. And you can do that. See what I mean? This is the hold mechanic. So this is back H. Literally 4H. Boom. So you can take people down for trying to do stuff. That's what a hold is. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because it's such an integral part of this game. Keeping yourself alive in this game requires you to basically learn how to to deal with people's moves. So not only sidestepping. Sidestepping is great, and we can show that actually. So like you can sidestep like that, or you can hit them like that. If you do the S button, you can go around them, as you can see. Oops, I got hit. But I'm pretty sure that'll give you an idea. I've lost my pacing. And this is what I mean actually. As soon as you get hit, you lose a lot of pacing. So you need to be ready to deal with all of this stuff. And it's such a big deal at the end of the day. The game has so much going on. So there's, you know, like you got your normal punch, your normal kick. These are just the standing buttons right now. But if you do like back kick, you get that. So I get that. But you know, if you do forward, you get a knee, and if you do 2K, you get a kick to the knees, and you can multi-tap it. There's a lot of buttons in this game, and a lot, like, that's just a normal punch, but there's 4P. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on, but you will need to be able to hold and stuff. Imagine if somebody was doing that to you over and over again. You'd want to hold it and deal with it, because you can't throw it, because there's no way for you to beat the strike with a throw, because strikes will always win. So you need to be more prepared to deal with, in this game at least, be prepared to deal with people's strikes so that you don't lose your momentum. And of course there are, you know, hits off the multiple buttons, like that, which will change your sides facing, and you get stuff like that. Or, you know, you can do that, and then you kind of jump over and you can hit the button. Oh, that's a thing to mention real quick. Dead or Alive has stage effects, right? So I just knocked her over this wall. That's a thing you can do. You can also do Tekken style stuff. I'm going to use Tekken as an example, because most people have played Tekken that I know that haven't played DOA. But wall combos, of course, are going to exist here. There's, like, that was not going to not be a thing. So, you know, there you go. And once again, if you hit a button when you're going over a stage area, you will just, you know, there we go, there's a tank. Oh, the tank's really cool, actually. And it really leads into the next part I want to mention, which is stage combos. Stage combos literally allow you to do stuff like this. Oh, whoops. I'm being sucky right now. When you're recording stuff, you fail more than not, I find. But you'll get the idea, and you'll want to catch people as they come over. So the game mechanically works really well. There's nothing jank. The animations are fantastic. The graphics are fantastic, and I did say I'd bring them up. This game is pretty as hell. Like, look at it. This game is lovely. And the audio, as far as I'm concerned, is it's meaty enough to feel like I'm actually playing a very visceral game. A very visceral fighting game. I really don't have too many complaints there. So hopefully that's a good look at the mechanics, a bit of the explanation of the way it works. I'm pretty sure I got it all right. People can moan at me if I didn't. And I hope you watch the next part, which is coming up right now. Okay, so the reason I said what I did in the last bit is because this is the big bit, and the bit that I've been constantly asked about for the last 3 days. Should I buy this game? Now, I'm not usually one to tell people to buy games or whatever. I would say the personal research and stuff is the best way to go. But if you are looking for a 3D fighter that looks really good, like it looks really nice, if you're looking for a game that feels nice to play, if you're looking for a game that's underappreciated and want to try giving it a go, then heck yes, then grab DOA. It's on PS4, it's on PC. There's places that you can go to get it for reasonable prices already. Do it. Give it a go. I cannot say anything else. I absolutely love this game. Me saying anything else would be an absolute lie. This game is fantastic, and for me, it's a perfect buy. But I can understand why people would be on the fence about picking up this game. It's well worth it if you're looking for a new 3D fighter, or if you want to try a 3D fighter. What I would say is, if you have any locals that are running the game or events coming up, check them. Check the game there. If the game is there, check it out. Try before you buy it, right? Nothing wrong with try before you buy it. And you might be pleasantly surprised. I personally think a lot of people that I've said would like the game have told me within the last day or so that yes, they are actually enjoying themselves. And you know, even though there's no online lobbies yet, which is the biggest problem that people are facing right now, a lot of people are waiting for online lobbies to come out and then are planning to buy or whatever. That's also an option if you were looking to just play with friends or whatever. I know a lot of people are looking to just mash with mates and enjoy themselves. So yeah, I'm giving this a solid 8 out of 10. The biggest problems being no lobbies at launch, the non-descriptors in the command listings, so like showing what's a high counter and stuff would have been amazing. They should do it. They should add it. And that's really it. That's only the two places I'm talking a point, because everything else just feels like DOA to me. It's a new DOA and I'm enjoying myself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.